Happy Tuesday, everyone! How is it going? We have approximately 30 days left of school here in the lovely state of New Hampshire, and it is such a crunch. We are getting down to the wire, and it's all about catering here, end of the year celebrations, but that's not here what I'm to discuss today. Today is a very special edition of Live from My Desk featuring one of the people that I consider a personal school nutrition mentor, and that is Kern Halls from Ingenious Culinary Concepts. He is an unbelievably amazing advocate for what we're doing in school meals, and he works with all sorts of different school districts across the country doing different innovative and amazing things. So I'm going to take a second and just bring him on to our session, because of course the way that I invited him before, here he is. We'll bring him on just a second and you can meet this nice, caring, wonderful individual who I have been so blessed to call a friend for so many years. Kern Halls, how are you today?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing so well. It's always a great day when I get to talk to you about school nutrition.
It's a great day when I get to talk to you.
So for people who don't know you, tell us in a nutshell, where do you come from and what do you do? And just share with everyone the amazingness that is Kern Halls.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. But I give my background. So I started off in food and beverage. Straight out of high school, I went to the military. I was a free and reduced kid that had free lunch growing up in through all through school. Went to the military as a culinary specialist. After I left the Navy, I came back home. I wanted to work for Walt Disney World because I live in Orlando, Florida. That was like my dream job. I got a job at Walt Disney World for about four years. I managed two different restaurants, did about $18 million in sales, and really got a chance to hone my customer service skills and really learn about all the pixie dust and how to run operations greatly. It was just amazing experience working at Walt Disney World. It's just fantastic. And then one day, my wife came home and said that there's an open in Orange County Public Schools. It's the 10th largest school district in the nation. And I got an opportunity to be a training manager there in school food service. But at first, I didn't know what school food service was. I know I got free lunch, but I didn't know the magnitude of the operations that happens. And I applied for the job. I got it. After a couple of promotions, I ended up being a senior manager in charge of marketing, special projects, catering team, training team, secondary menu, and ran all 23 of our high schools. So it was a lot going on. And then after doing that for 8 years, I was just so fascinated about school food service that I wanted to step out on my own and just really see how I can help the industry as a whole. And so I started Ingenious Culinary Concepts, and here we are today that we got a chance to help K through 12 specialists like yourself provide your customers with additional products and services through consulting, marketing, and just cafeteria remodels. Is a whole list of things that we do to help schools.
That's incredible. And, for all our viewers, have you ever been to a conference or sat in a meeting and, I try to always listen at the beginning and try to not talk a lot. And this was kind of in the beginning of my school food service. I was really confident. Have you ever been in that meeting or at that conference and there was that one person who just, you were like, I want to know them? Karen, that's the way I felt about you when we met so long ago. And
Yes, we
I just
did.
knew that you were one to watch. Your your entire being just it's so wonderful to be in your orbit because you are so dedicated and passionate about helping people to serve school lunch. And so tell me, what are like if you had to say like the top things that you can say to directors, employees, managers to really focus on in school meals to create a magical experience, shall we say, with a mouse reference.
Yeah, and you know, and it has to be authentic. And one of the things that we've done, and just myself growing up as a freelance kid, I understood some of the pain points of those kids that we serve every single day. And just now that we go out and we do a lot of focus group with students, I just learn more and more from them every single day. And I just get a chance to opportunities to have a genuine love for what I do. Is that I sometimes with a lot of school districts they don't have the budget. And so we either try to do something over a teleconference or just an email, or if I'm in the area, I stop by and try to help them. But I always try to advise directors or individuals to see like, okay, what is your strength? You know, because we're all not great at everything. So you know, you have to know what your strength is and apply it to what you do on a daily basis, and then work with others. If you're not strong in a certain area, for me,
Mhm.
I am not really great. I don't like the meticulous details, but I love going out talking to students. I love going out working with principals, administrators, or whoever that is, and I try to find that and hone in on my skills to help solve different issues with school districts.
I know that that's something you've been passionate about for a long time. And I'll say it right now, I'm terrible at it. It's the student focus groups. And I really need to do a
Right.
better job of talking to the kids because you're absolutely right. There have been so many times that I've been to a food show where, everything in my brain that's a 34-year-old female who's been in the restaurant industry for so
Right.
long, it all makes sense. But when it gets to the tray and gets to the kids, it doesn't. And there's such a disconnect. And I'm just gonna say thank you because I'm feeling inspired. I know that that's a weakness of mine, and it's a resource that we don't tap into enough is actually focusing in on with our customers. And I'm sure you've got some funny anecdotes. Can you share with me something funny that kids have said, something just eye-opening that just to give people an understanding of kind of why this is such an important resource for us to be accessing?
You know, first of all, it's just that whole myth because, you know, doing the focus groups, every focus group I go to, students always bring up this thing of mystery meat. And I'm like, what is mystery meat? They're like, I don't know, but I heard it from someone else, you know, and it's just like this urban legend that goes around in every school district all across the United States, right? So you try to dispel that myth when you're trying to talk to the students. So, but a lot of people don't understand is that when you have a focus group or talk to the students, they're scared of the feedback, right? They think it's gonna be a personal attack against them, and I try to debunk that myth by telling them, it's like, just have a conversation with them, and they're going to give you feedback, honest feedback on your program, on what's going on. And then you're going to develop a relationship with them. And that's the key to that, what I call student engagement, is that once you have that relationship, you have a conversation with them, and they can have that honest conversation and say, like, you know what you shared today, just you knocked it out of the park. It was great. Or, you know what, this product wasn't that great. Maybe it needs to be served like this. And once you get that going, that really helps your whole entire program out because you're getting that feedback from your customers and you know exactly what's going on. The one other thing too is that it's so funny. A lot of times in focus groups, students will share a lot of things with me that they won't share with their own parents. And I'm it's kind of weird to me because I have a 19-year-old and a 14-year-old. I'm like, okay, what are my kids not sharing with me? You know, to kind of go from there. And they just kind of get really calm, relaxed, and they just start sharing. And they generally, I have not met any student yet that doesn't want to help the food service program out. You know, you just have a conversation, see like what can you do to help them out and kind of go from there. So it's definitely reaching out and to see how you can get them involved in the whole process.
Absolutely. Making them stakeholders in your program, I think, is
Correct.
they have they are literally have something at stake. Get it, mystery meat? I know,
Yes,
I'm so
yes,
funny.
yes.
I'm so funny.
I
So they
get it.
literally have a stake in what we're putting on the plate because they want great food just like we want to provide great food. So why not incorporate them into the process? Kern, what does the future of school food service look like?
The future. It's different for me, right? Because I grew up in an environment where like innovation was key, especially working at Walt Disney World. We were always ahead of the curve. So when I worked in the school district and in about 2007, we did a food truck. Well, maybe about 8 years later, everyone started doing food trucks, food buses, and things like that. So we try to be at the cutting edge, and sometimes we scare our clients a little bit. I said, okay, here's the next thing you need to do. Well, no one's doing it. And I said, that's exactly why you need to do it. So that's why you see Disney is so successful amongst other amusement parks or other people because they're just going to kind of push the envelope. And we try to do that small in a pilot phase. right now with students in the school food service, there has to be more student engagement, number one. Um, the food concepts have to kind of come around to see exactly what's going on. If you have to mimic retail environments, because that's huge, because a lot of people don't understand that the school food service program is kind of that relief of the day. After I've been in math, science class, I come down to the cafeteria. It's time for me to woosah, and here you are, the heroes. What they kind of say, that we can kind of have that relief and have the chance to hang out for 25, 30 minutes, get a good meal, have some jokes with my friend, and kind of go from there. So you need to have an environment where it's going to be conducive to fit all those different things. Would it be mobile feeding? Would it be the
Mhm.
cafeteria atmosphere with dining, or just plain service? I've read some articles of having people just do name tags. I think you did it yourself. You had those name tags. I saw you did the student suggestion box. These are all things that can create an environment that's going to make it successful, because your competition is not your next school district. It's going to be the retail environment that's out there is doing all these great things out there. So technology is definitely going to be that next thing that's going to have to speed up service and get things going.
Okay, so you mentioned technology. So I have been looking at online ordering for probably about 2 years, and I'm just so hesitant to pull a trigger. You know, my school district, we're
Yes.
1,600 kids in the high school. We're a closed campus, but you know what? The kids they have so many choices as soon as they leave us, and I think that that's anywhere food is so readily available. It's available at a gas station. Who could have said that food would be available at a gas station 20 years ago?
Right.
But
Right.
what online ordering, is this a fad or is this a trend? See, you've taught me things. Are you
Yeah,
still
yes, you're
impressed?
learning. You're learning. Yeah, no, and no, I am really impressed. I'm really impressed. You're paying attention. Yes. I think that definitely is going to be a trend. Because you look at Uber Eats, you look at DoorDash, look at all these different spaces. Like today, I just got to my hotel. I ordered Uber Eats for lunch because I didn't want to go back out right now because I just landed. So it's all about convenience. So if somehow a school district can set it up, to me, it's kind of simple, is that you get a certain area of the cafeteria, because we overlook things. It said you can get a table and said, okay, this is going to be your online ordering table, and we're going to bring the meals out there, some kind of ticket, staple it to the bag, and give it to the student, and try it at a small pilot. I think sometimes we're scared to try things because we might fail. There's certain things that I've done when I even worked in the school district myself that failed, but I learned from them and I learned how to adapt. But I did it in a small pilot. So, for example, your school, you could say, you know what, on the first lunch, we're going to do trying mobile ordering and only at this table in this area, and work through the kinks and try it out for 60 days and see how you can perfect it, and then move forward from there and just learn from it. Then you can say it worked or it didn't work, and then you can shelve it or keep moving forward.
Okay, great. And then for all of our listeners and our watchers who have not heard your amazing keynotes, can you please describe the difference between a fad and a trend?
Yeah, so a fad is something that's going to be short term, right? It's going to be something that everyone's going crazy over Pokemon and all those kind of things. So we try to jump on that bandwagon, and this came and it went away. A trend is something that's going to have last longer, have some substance to it, right? You can kind of tell to say, okay, you know what? I can ride this wave for a very long time and kind of go from there. For your example of mobile ordering, that's something that's going to go long term and go from there. And but behind both of those things, especially the trends, you have to put some marketing behind it. You're not just gonna be able to open the door or have a concept and no one knows about it. You have to try to look at on the second note and try to market it and kind of go from there as well.
Okay. I'm actually stealing my vlog time to just get free consulting advice from you. So should
All
I
right.
but I don't want to, I don't have any people. I don't have any, the people are so expensive. I don't, is there the ability to do the mobile ordering? And at Panera, it's all honor system. Like you go and you just grab your bag. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with my naughty high schoolers. How are other people doing it? Do you know?
Right. So again, it's going to have to be in a controlled environment. You're going to have to work with the administration staff as well, because you need someone to police. Because I had a high school I used to run, and wow, I probably had over $1,000 in theft every single week. And then I had to work with resource officers, administration, to see how can we kind of curb that theft. But a definitely control environment, table in one area of the cafeteria, staff to the back of the wall, and then also, can you hire somebody that can work for 2 hours to 3 hours. There are people out there that just want to get out the house, just maybe work for 3 hours and come in, help staff that mobile feeding area or additional serving line, and then they go home
Mhm.
after that. So they work for an hour before, prep, hour serving, and then hour afterwards to clean up in 3 hours, and then they go home. So you can find some people that just want to get out the house and want to do that. And then that's how you utilize the recruiting effort of going to a radio station. You can speak for free in a radio station. You can put picket signs outside of the front of that school, morning announcements, flyers in the neighborhood, PTSA. There's different ways to try to track some of those people that just want to get out. And a lot of those times, as well as that, a lot of students sometimes do volunteer hours. So if you just teach them kind of service, like the serving a safe class and put them through it. I know my son, before he graduated, he needed to have a certain amount of volunteer hours, and what better way to get it at school in a safe environment and to help you out as well.
That's good. That's good. So share with us your proudest project that you've worked on, whether that's been, I mean, I've seen you do some incredible things with school districts, but share something that you're proud of, a school district, or a program or a project. Just tell me.
Wow, I can't just do one because there's so many different things. So I'm going to try to hit on different points. One of the things I'm proud of, I could just start with yourself. I know I came up and spoke at the New Hampshire conference, and we talked about suggestion boxes. And I think that next Monday, you and your team decorated boxes, and you sent me a picture of the suggestion box, and it was something that was so simple to do. And a lot of times when I speak, I give people things that are no cost to things that might cost a little bit. And so I was proud of you for doing that and implementing it. And I use that in my presentations. And I talk about you and from time to time about just doing things that, because it's all about execution. The end of the day for me,
Yep.
when I talk to everybody, it's all about execution. I don't care about money, all those different things. We can talk about it till the cows come home, but if you don't execute, you never can know that it worked. Then I go out to, I have a great client in Arizona. She's doing a lot of great things. She did our service, our consulting service. We do a 2-day visit, and she did everything on there, which is a surprise. I told her just, hey, just take did everything, and she called me 6 months later, and she's like, Kern, um,
All right. So it looks like Kern froze a little bit. He's some technical difficulties because he's in is out and about across the country. It looks like my internet might be a little shoddy right now, so I'll apologize for that. But thank you to everyone who joined us to hear from Kern Halls, who is actually on the road doing what he does best, which is talking to school districts and helping them to conceive how to serve school lunch and feed kids in a different way. Let's see. Actually, I think I can bring him back. Let's see. Camera just to wrap things up and to say goodbye. But, uh, it's the small things sometimes that can really make a big difference. So, hey, you've returned.
take nine. Can you
You're
hear me now?
breaking up. You're breaking up just a skosh, but I was just saying, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes it is the small things, but can you just, I can't let you go without talking about some of the amazing transformations that you've made in school districts in terms of serving areas. What was your favorite project that you did?
Wow. Okay. So I was gonna speed it up. So, client in Arizona, really quick, that she did a lot of items that we suggested in consulting, and she ended up having an excess fund balance at the end of the school year. So we're actually going back out again this year, in June, to redo another one of her schools. So that was fun. Oklahoma with Kevin, and Shauna Hall out there. We did two of their schools this summer. Huge projects. We did everything from the floor all the way up to the TVs, the furniture, the serving line. Had an increase in 27% in participation in one school, a 15% in other, without even changing the menu. So that was a really huge and fun project. We have a couple more coming up this summer. We have one that's out for bid right now. So it's fun just redoing the schools. And the great thing that I have so much fun doing it, because when I was in my school district, I started doing it myself, and I wasn't very that knowledgeable about it. But then now that I've done it for a while now, and I've been working with a lot of clients, we look for all the pitfalls. So we become your partner. So it's not like us telling us what you need to do. We're advising you. So we say, advise Amanda, here's the best thing to go about for doing this, and then this is how we make the changes, and then you make the
Right.
decision. So individual can call us, and I just got an email literally like 5 minutes ago. Someone asked for help with serving lines, like, so we try to give input and advice to people that want to do it, and we handle all the heavy lifting. So when clients hire us, they hire us to walk through the whole entire process of making sure that these services get done, from the seating to the graphics on the wall.
It's truly incredible. And I hope you'll share with some of our viewers, if you want to throw in the comments, some links to your social media, as well as information on how they can connect with you and Ingenious Culinary Concepts. Maybe even some cool pictures of, I have loved what you did with Oklahoma City right before they opened up for the year. And it was just so inspiring. So hopefully our viewers were inspired today by just soaking in the joy that is Kern Halls and all of his knowledge and experience that he shares with us as school nutrition professionals each and every day. And Kern, you're a fabulous person, and we want to thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Yes, and thank you for having us, Amanda. And again, out there, I just want to tell everybody, you and Stephanie are doing a great job. Keep it moving. Just make sure you just keep the work going. And just want to tell everybody that I've been in your shoes. I've worked in the school district for many years, and now I've been on both sides of the fence. So we're here to give you any advice that you might need. And again, you can look me up on social media, Kern Halls. All my handles for social media is at Ingenious CC, like Charlie at the end. My website is ingeniousculinaryconcepts.com, and you can just contact us, any information you need. And my personal email is kern at ingeniouscc.com if you have any questions. And I'm sure I'll see you all on social media. But Amanda, thank you so much for everything, and I appreciate everything that you've done for the
Thank you
industry.
so much. You have Joel Techworth, who is sharing some love for you right there. But we want to
All
thank
right,
you.
tell Joe it's my boy.
Thank you to everyone for joining us today. You can catch Live from My Desk next Tuesday at 3:30. It'll be me and Stephanie, so get ready for that. We'll be talking a little bit more about ANC and some things that we're really excited for. So also, I think it's how to prep and get ready for the school nutrition event of the year. So tune in next Tuesday at 3:30. And thanks again from Kern Halls. Have a great day, everyone.